Hello guys, my name is Khan, and actually in this video I will show you guys that how you can use Visual Basic to create some summary statistics. So before going to start, actually I will be using this workbook, and actually this workbook have 3 sheets that I have created for you guys. So actually the sheet 1 have some data in it and some variables for which we have data. So it's a hypothetical data. What I want is that based on this data, I want some summary statistic. So I have created a template for you guys that I would like to create through Visual Basic. So we have these. So I want summary statistics for these three variables: price, MPG, and rep 78. So actually, these variables are related to car data. As I said, this data is hypothetical, so you don't have to be worried that what is this price and MPG. So I will go back to my sheet 1 which have the data. I also have these variable price, MPG, and rep 78. And for these variables, I want to have sum of prices, variance in prices, and average of prices. So what I will be doing, I will be using Excel built-in function of sum, variance, and average in Visual Basic. And then I will be assigning the final output to each cell. But I will be creating exactly this same table in sheet 2. Actually, this sheet I have just created to show you guys that what I am going to do. So the main thing that I will be doing through VBA will be exactly the same thing but in sheet 2. And moreover, in this video I will also talk about some other functions, very useful functions that you will be able to use in Visual Basic to improve your coding in VBA. So now what I will do, I will take you guys to Visual Basic. So I'm already in the developer tab, and then I will go to Visual Basic. So after that I will be creating my module. So I will be saying module. So now what I will do, I will create I will try to make sum of prices, and then I will try to assign that computation or that value to a cell. So I will go back to my Excel sheet and sheet 1. So what I want to do, I want to create the sum of these prices. So as you can see, the prices are starting from row number 2 and it going up to row number 75. After that I have blank data. So I will go to my VBA. So I will be creating a macro for this. So I will be saying sub, and this macro I will be calling it, you can call it anything you like, I'm calling it test. And then I will be assigning, I will be saying that cells, and the cell will be the first row, and suppose the column index that I want to select is M. You can I'm just arbitrarily selecting this cell so that I will be able to assign the computation value. So the first thing that I want to do is that I want to if I go to VBA, so if I go to Excel, so what I'm trying to say to in VBA, that go to first row and then select this cell, and then I'm trying to say that do the sum of all these prices in my data. So if you guys remember that if you want to do it in Excel, what you guys will do, you will say equal to sum and then bracket, and then you will select all the rows for that column, and then you will bracket close and then enter, and then you can see this is the sum that will be showing. This cell is showing the sum of prices for this data. But now I want to do the same thing through Visual Basic. So you will be thinking that why not I will be just use this formula, copy and then paste it here. So I'll be pasting it here. So actually you can do the same thing, but make sure that when you copy your formula from Excel, put it in inverted commas. So you will be using inverted commas. And now if I play this macro, if I go back, you can see now I have the same sum of price in M1, and this is the N1 that I have just created for you guys to show what I'm trying to do. Here I will like to discuss one thing, that actually I'm having 3 sheets in Excel in this workbook. Then how VBA have decided to select the cell which is in the sheet 1? Why Excel haven't selected this M1 which is in sheet 2 or in the result tab M1? By M1 means the column M and row 1. So why Excel is selecting the cell sheet in sheet 1? Actually VBA when you are not mentioning about any sheet, then VBA will automatically decide that it will be a sheet 1. So it kind of sheet 1 is a kind of a default sheet. But if you want to say that I don't want to put I don't want to paste my output result in sheet 1, then you can also select that in which sheet you want to put your results. Again, I'm saying that in VBA, if you don't mention that in which sheet you want to put your output results, then VBA will automatically decide, or by default, the sheet 1 will be the place where VBA will output your results. So now I'm going to create my second macro. So in order to show you guys that how you can create, how you can output results into a sheet which you can decide, or other than sheet 1, how you can do that. So in order to do that, I will be creating a macro sub, and I will be calling it different diff for different underscore sheet. So in this macro, I will be selecting a different sheet to output my results, and within this macro I will also create summary statistics that I have shown you guys in the start of the video. So now what I will do, I will say enter. So this is my second macro, and probably the final macro for this video. So now I want that my output result goes to sheet 2. So for this you have to write a command work sheets and then brackets, and within the brackets you will be mentioning the sheet where you want your output results to go now. Sheet 2. Then you will be saying dot select, that by this you are saying select this sheet. So now whatever results that I will output, the VBA will automatically know because of this command that the Excel have to go to sheet 2 and then have to paste the results in the selective cells. And now what I will go, and after that what I will do, I will like to show that, suppose if you, because in my previous videos I've shown you guys that how you can create scalars in VBA, and now I will show you guys that how you can also create a vector in Visual Basic, and then I will try to use that vector in creation of those summary statistics table. So suppose if you want to create a vector with a dimension of 3, so in order to do that you will be saying dim, and then suppose my vector name will be C, and I want my vector to be 3. My vector length will be 3, so I'll be telling VBA 1, 2, 3. So it will be by 3, it's mean starting from 1 and its length will be 3, 1, 2 and 3. And then I'll be saying that this C vector will be as string. So it will be having some string observations in it. So currently I have just defined the vector length, and I have told VBA that what kind of information that vector will be capturing. But after that I will be putting the information directly into the vector. So I will be saying that the first part of the vector, because this vector will be having the length 3, so the first part, by saying brackets, by saying it, writing down 1, so the first part of the vector will be I will be putting, saying sum. So the first part of the vector will be capturing the information spelled as sum. Second will be variance, and third part of the vector will be capturing average. Actually, you can't write C bracket 4 bracket close, because the vector that I'm creating is having the length of 3, not 4. So if you will do that, you will get an error. So now what I will do, I will try to give this vector information to this into the second sheet of my Excel. So I will be using this information, and I will be saying that okay, use that vector and paste each segment of the vector in these cells. So I will be assigning that vector to this cell and this cell and this cell. So I will go back to my VBA now. And now you can assign it in a different ways, but I will be using a loop to assign this segment of this vector to each cell. So I will be saying for D is equal to 1. So D will be my new scalar, and then I'll be saying next D, where my loop will be finishing, and here I will be writing down cells, brackets, and then I will be saying D plus 1, comma, then I will be using that I want my results to be gone in column A, and I will bracket close and equal to, and then I will be mentioning CD. So in this loop, this D will take the value 1, then 2, and then 3, and here the rows number keeps on changing. The important thing to note here is, here I have mentioned D plus 1, because if I go to my Excel, I want the first thing, or the first part of the vector appear here, then the second here, and then third here. That's why I am adding plus 1. So, but here is one thing that I have introduced a new scalar. So first I have to introduce it somewhere before this loop. So I'll be saying dim D as integer. You can introduce it even just before for loop, but I am introducing it a bit before in my code. So now if I execute this code, so what you guys will see that in my sheet 2, I will be having some variance and average will be written down. This macro is still incomplete. I will be keep on working even after that. So I will just play this macro for you guys, and now you can see we have VBA have put it some variance and average here. Now in the same way, I want to write down price, MPG and rep 78. So for that I will be creating another vector. So I can copy the same code again. The vector length will be again the same. So I'll be calling it Z. So I'll be changing Z. And then I will be saying it as price, MPG and rep 78. Price, rep 78. And the last thing variable name is this will be MPG, and then here I'll be writing rep 78. And now in the same way I will be using a loop, so I can copy paste the same loop. But here is one thing is you have to be careful, because now it will be in the row 1. So you have to change your function here. So you will be saying row 1 and your column will be changing. So your column will be, the first column that you will be having is second, third and fourth. So here you will be writing down in my macro, I will be mentioning by the number. So I'll be saying D plus 1. So because we are starting from second column, so that's why I'm adding 1. And here instead of C I will be saying Z. And hopefully if I will run this code, I will not get any error. And if I go back, you can see in sheet 2 now we have price, MPG 70, rep 78, and now we also have some variance and average. And now the point is when we will start computing, so I will be saying I will be trying to write a code in VBA to say, okay, tell me the sum of prices, variance in prices and average in prices. So in order to do that, I will go back to my VBA, and now here in the end I will be writing down the commands to compute the sum of prices, variance of prices and average prices. So first I will be saying cells, and then I will be selecting the row. The row will be 2 because I will be computing the sum of prices. I will be computing the sum of prices, and the column will be B, or the second column. So you can write down simply 2 equal to, then I will be, because I will be computing the sum, so I will be using the inverted commas, and then equal to, and then sum, brackets, start with this brackets from, now I will write down the range from which I want to compute the sum. Now the important thing is that you have selected sheet 2, whereas your data is in sheet 1. So now you have to specify that from that which sheet you want to select. If you don't specify the sheet, VBA will think that you are still thinking about sheet 2, but your data is in sheet 1. That's why I have to mention sheet 1. So I'll be saying sheet 1, and then I will be using sign of exclamation. So after the sign of exclamation, you will be telling the range from which the data will be coming. So your data will be coming from, as you can see, from B2 to B75. So I will be saying B2 to 2. In order to mention 2, you will be using ratio sign. And then again you will be telling the sheet that it will be ending at sheet 1, sign of exclamation, and B75. So now if I run this VBA, let's see, hopefully I will be having the sum of prices in this cell. So if I run this, as you can see, I have sum of prices in this cell now, and in the same way I will be computing variance now. So another thing to note here is that I am using the built-in function of Excel here, and in the same way now I will be using the built-in function of variance. Now the code will almost remain the same. I will just change the row to 3, and now here I will be using variance var, and now if I compute, if I run this VBA, now the VBA will fill this cell with the variance of price. As you can see, now I have variance of price in this cell. In the same way, you can also get the average. Again, I will copy the same code as above. I will be just make some slight changes. I will be changing the row number, column will be the same, and then I will be just saying it average, and if I play it, now you can see average of prices here. In the same way, we can also do it for MPG and rep78. As you can see in my data, MPG is the consecutive column of price, and then rep78, so I can easily do it. So I can quickly do it for you guys. I will copy the same code. I will adjust it a bit slightly according to my need now. Now the rows, I don't have to change the rows, but I have to change the column because my results will be in this column, the third column, the C column. So that's why I'll be saying 3, 3, 3. The logic is same, but I just have to select different cells now, which will be in the next column in sheet 2. And now what I will do, I will also have to adjust this column B2. Now my variable is in C2 in sheet 1. C. All other things will remain same. The data is in sheet 1. And now if I execute, my second column in sheet 2 will also get filled by the outcome results that my macro will produce. As you can see now, my third column also get filled. And now lastly, I will do the same thing very quickly for you guys to complete this video. So again, I will just adjust my column, and then I will be adjusting my column in sheet 1, 2, because now I will be talking about rep78, which is the fourth column in my data. So I'll be saying D75, D75, D. And now if I execute this code, you can see that I have completed this table. So in the start of the video, I have shown you guys that I want to get these summary statistics. Then in sheet 2, with the use of Visual Basic, I generated those summary statistics by using the data which is in the sheet 1. So in this video, I have discussed how you can select a different sheet for your output result other than sheet 1. And another important thing is that in this video, I have shown you guys how you can create a vector in VBA. So actually this video is to give you guys a bit more how you can use different functions or different macros in Visual Basic to create summary statistics. Thank you for watching the video.